Hi guys, welcome back. Before we start, I just want to apologise for two things. One is it's taken me so long to get around to making this video. I've been flat out with just life in general. And number two, I'm going to apologise now for how quick and off the cuff this video is going to be. Haven't really got time to make anything good at the moment. I haven't really got time to be editing anything at the moment. But I've got some plans for some big things happening hopefully this weekend. So I wanted just to get a quick update video in before everything happens, and just to let you know, guys, know what's coming. So if you're interested, you can click that like, click that subscribe, and keep your eye out. Okay, so since we last spoke, then we'll start with the 900 here, the big boy. As you can see, the clowns are getting on well in there. The Eliotti are pretty much fully grown now. They're also still breeding day in, day out. I've had fry at least once a month for the past 4 or 5 months now, which is great. I've actually got some in a bucket I'll show you in a minute. So the last video I did on this, we rescaped the entire tank. Bought 100 plants for 20 quid and kept things cheap and cheerful. Tank looked great, looked brilliant. Unfortunately, as many clown loach keepers will know, clown loaches are partial to a bit of vegetation. Within about 48 hours, the clowns just decided to decimate the tank, and slowly, one by one, they ate through what plants were in there. The only ones that were left are the Anubias and Java ferns, which I think is probably down to the waxy leaves that they're not really interested in them. I think what's going to happen is we've obviously got this nice root centerpiece here. I think I'm going to try and get a couple more Javas on there, maybe another Anubias in there. There's quite a lot of Anubias in there at the moment anyway, just to get a bit more green in there. But I think from now on, this is pretty much how the tank's going to stay planted wise, just because of the clown loaches, unfortunately. And the bigger they get, the more they're going to go for the front plants. So also, since last time, I can't remember completely off the top of my head what stock I showed you guys, but we've got in there, I think 12 Odessa barbs. No, we've got more than that. We've got much more than that. Must be about 20 Odessa barbs in there. You can see they're a good size now, really good size. They grew really healthy. Really happy with how they're getting on. We've also got a group of Harlequinless borers which are in there. They're hiding at the back there. I think there's 9 of those. I do want more of those, but unfortunately the stock that the LFS had wasn't great. So I took the 9 healthiest, and when they get some healthier stock in, I'll go and get some more. I hope to have about 20 of those. I think the Odessas, they'll school nicely in 2 big groups around the tank. Obviously I don't want to overstock too much at this stage, because these guys are going to get an awful lot bigger, especially if the Eliotti are breeding. I've been trying to breed a few out now, grow a few out in a different tank. So hopefully if they continue to grow, we'll end up with a few more in there as well. We've got 3 woodcats in here. They're very difficult to see, so I'm going to just try and scan through, see if you can spot any. There's one hiding in the top there. You can just about see him there under that Anubias. The other 2 tend to hide. There's one of them hiding just down there in that root. Very difficult to spot, but beautiful fish. They're about 5 centimeters long when I got them. They'll eventually, obviously, they'll grow to the sort of size that Gary the Pleco will. Talking of Gary, I mean, he's hiding in his little hole down there. You can, don't know if you can make out where he is there. He's hid himself in there quite well, to be honest. But he digs himself a hole right under that root and hides there for most of the day. Apart from that, this tank's going lovely. We had we'll pop round into the sump room, and I'll just show you in there quickly. We had a pump failure. My return pump down there broke, unfortunately. Not convenient, but I took it as an opportunity to upgrade. So we went from 4,000 litres an hour to 12,000 litres an hour, which is a massive improvement. I've actually got a cup of food here. I'll throw that in there in a minute and do a little quick feeding of these guys. They're quite good to feed at the moment, very active and whatever else. Turn the light on. I don't know, it's going to be quite difficult for you guys to see. They're actually all hiding down behind the filter there, which I've turned off for the minute just so that you guys can see. But I think there's probably about 20 to 30 fry in there. Obviously the guys had a lot more in the main tank. But I've heard of issues beforehand where if you take all the fry, the male can become quite aggressive to the female. So I took about half of what was in there, left the guys with the half to look after. I think they've since been eaten, but that's what we've got going on in here. The fry are in there. Sump's going great. Obviously, apart from the pump, we've got the new pump in. That's great. The two Eheims, did the review on those. They're working really well. Unfortunately, I was moving a few things around in the other day when I was fitting the pump, and I knocked this one, and I think I've busted the UV on it. Obviously, you can see it's not working. My fault, you know, nothing wrong with the unit, but it's just my fault. I was a bit brutish with it. We'll quickly just throw some food in the top of the tank here. Oh, I'll throw the cup in there as well. Let's try and do things one-handed. There we go, throw a bit of food in there, go back around the front. You can quickly get a glimpse of all the guys having a ravenous feed. Say hello to the cat on the way. Feed these guys on a mixture of frozen and pellet. You can see I've got some bigger pellets in there. They'll sit there until the evening now, and the catfish will come out and clean those up. Frozen brine shrimp, some just normal tropical pellet. So these guys will do a good job of cleaning that up in about an hour flat, which is great. So yeah, that's the 900. That's where we're at with that. Let's move on into this room here, which is, as you can see, is still a bit of a mess, still a bit of a storage room. But this is where the majority of the updates are. For this room, we are going to be this weekend ripping all the floor up. The main part of my house is over 120 years old. So it gets cold in this room in the winter, really cold. There's no insulation in the floor, it gets drafty and whatever else. So we're going to rip all the floor up, re-insulate the floor, lay new floor. Once that's done, I can start decorating the room, and then that will allow me to get on with my plans over here. As you can see, the goldfish are still in their QT tank. They're doing really well. I'm having to up their water changes, obviously, to deal with the bi-load in the smaller tank. Got some food here for them too, I'll throw that in. A bit of Tubiflex for them. Yeah, these guys are doing really well. The gold one there, we had a bit of a fungus infection on him a couple of weeks ago. We did a little course of this here, this Water Life. This one's Maxine, I don't know how you say it, but did a course of that, kept the water nice and clean for a little while. He's cleaned up real good. He's putting on a bit more size as well now, which is nice. So yeah, they're doing great in there, but obviously we want to get them in a bigger tank. So here's the bigger tank. Obviously, you guys know about this. If you've watched the other videos, you'll know about this beautiful crack in the bottom of the tank here, which was my own doing when I filled the tank and I forgot to put any polystyrene or anything underneath the bottom. That's my own fault, silly. So the plan is then that's now going to become a sump. We're going to base that out with acrylic. Basically just going to re-acrylic the base on the inside, simple as that. I'm not going to cut it out or anything like that. We're just going to re-base the bottom of it. We're going to use CT1 rather than silicone, just because that will stick to acrylic, whereas 100% silicone won't stick silicone to glass, acrylic to glass. And then this one down here, I picked this up real cheap. I paid 40 quid for this from a local seller just up the road from me. 300 litres in there, and that's going to become the main tank. So we'll have the main tank, we'll have the sump. My plan is on this wall, we're going to make this a bit of a fish wall. We'll have the 300 up there, we'll have the 125 on the end of it there. And as you can see in the corner of the room, I've got a few pipes running down, a couple of valves and bits just down the bottom there. That's all set up for the auto water change that's going to go in here as well. So we've got some good videos coming up. We'll do a stand build. We'll do the whole setup. Sort of Joey Mullen, King of DIY style. We'll do the whole lot. You know, a bit of time lapse or whatever. I'll try not to drag it out too much for you. And then we'll go into what I know a lot of you guys are interested in, and that's the auto water change systems that I've got in the house. They make things 100% easier, so much more enjoyable when you've got a busy lifestyle. You spend much more time enjoying the fish rather than doing a hard day's graft, coming home and just doing water changes all evening and getting upset with it. So that's where we're at in here. can't wait to get set up, but also I just wanted to show you guys this in here, give you a little update on that tank out there before we crack on this weekend, so you know where we're at, and that's where we're going to go from it. So really excited, really getting back into this for a little while, and I'll make sure I keep you updated. It's going to be great. So click the subscribe button, make sure you click the bell, get your notifications, and I'll see you on the next one.